Ndị be anyị kenekwanụ m unu. Anyị sị ka nkonye chiri ya zerụkwa. Anyị sị n'ụbọchị nketa mara na anyị mma na ihe adị ka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ. Otu anyị kwuru ya, otu akọ ya dịrịrị. Ise ise ise. Anyị dịka o si dị ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si wee wetara ya bụ ozizi n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nketa gbasata maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo nọ n'ime ya. Ndị nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ n'iru akwụkwọ. Dịka o si dị, anyị wetara unu ozi one of the Biafran activists wetara n'iru akwụkwọ. Quote, gbasata maka ya bụ latest development and ihe Biafran Deputy Prime Minister bụ Dr. Ngozi ORABUEZE degara akwụkwọ to US and o kwuru ihe dị iche iche ya bụ ife ka anyị ji maka ya wee bịa n'iru akwụkwọ, and also the update gbasata maka Maazị Simon Ekpa and Maazị Nnamdi Kanu's release. Dịka ihe ga ya bụ ife, biko tọ ntị na ka ịnụ ihe Dr. Ngozi ORABUEZE kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ, ị ga-esi gị dropụra ife n'ụdị nke gị. All right, over to you.
That we make without my approval. I promise you that. None, zero. So all this noise they're making on social media, please ignore them. They do not exist. They have no legal standing. They have no basis. They have no moral standing for what they are doing. That is why the God of Biafra is dealing with all of them at this time. All of them. They will pay the price for not following the due process, for not obeying Simon Ekpa, not obeying Nnamdi Kanu, not obeying the laws of Biafra. That is the price the criminals are paying now. All of them. Again, like I've said, the CRC was dissolved around November 2024. The advisory was dissolved by Simon Ekpa in 2024. There is nothing like advisory. There is nothing like CRC. There is nothing like just breaking. A standing alone. No, I was the chief of staff of breaking when it existed. None of them can do one single thing without my approval. Remember that.
Action is speaking. You can detect a true leader, a strong pillar. Oh my goodness. Dr. Ngozi, you are
I keep telling Biafrans that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has no reason to pass information through somebody that there will be a surrogate. He doesn't need to do that. Because the structure of the government was already set before Finland invited our Prime Minister. But because of these criminals, all of them, that was why the Prime Minister had to go to the extra length to let Biafrans know he has a surrogate who is going to make decisions on his behalf until he joins us. These criminals, all of them, they disobey that law because they've always, again, this attack, this plot is geared towards Simon Ekpa, both from Ogen Kere, both from Imam Madabo, both from Ruben Nadi. All of them is against the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. I was just the tool they have to pass before they get to Simon Ekpa. That is why they're attacking me. But anybody that thinks that this thing is about Dr. ORABUEZE, that means you've not been following. No, it was about disrupting Simon Ekpa. It was about stopping Simon Ekpa. It was about making sure that Simon Ekpa does not get the freedom for his people. It was about the Nigerian government plot to continue to kill Biafrans, which they did through Soludo a few weeks ago. That was it. The Prime Minister never take their decision. So this attack you see coming to Dr. ORABUEZE is not to me. Their target was Simon Ekpa, but they must get to Simon Ekpa through Dr. ORABUEZE. And in each step of the way, I block their criminality. That is why you see them attacking Dr. ORABUEZE. So Biafrans, I want you to know that these people, whatever they are doing, whatever name they came by, whatever name they are answering, all of them has plotted towards the disruption of our freedom. Mark all of them one by one. I want to let you Biafrans know that Imam Madabo was removed as the one in charge of the Biafra Republic government in exile telegram. He opened that telegram in a couple of years back. But because of his criminality, during a meeting of the cabinet members, the Prime Minister told Imam Abu immediately to remove himself from that briggy telegram that he established and passed it on to the Biafran, one of the cabinet members who is praised. All of you that are following Imam Abu, go and ask him, why did Simon Ekpa remove him as the one reading telegram and gave it to praise? Ask him that question. I also want to let you Biafrans know that Ruby Nari and the Ogenkere was removed from the mandate account by Prime Minister Simon Ekpa because of their criminality. Those of you that are following them, go and ask them, why were you removed from New Dimension mandate? Ogenkere, where were you removed from New Dimension mandate? Their criminality is intense. It was during a meeting of the mandate, New Dimension mandate, that the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa told Ruby Nadi and Imam Abu and Ogenkere, you cannot participate in New Dimension mandate. He removed both of them and told them to go and be. Where is that briggy fundraising today? They went and destroyed that. So those are both of them. The same, again, I heard they made Ruby Nadi a signatory to one of their accounts. You all should ask Ruby Nadi, why was she removed from New Dimension mandate? She and Ogenkere, because when we do fundraising in New Dimension mandate, before we wake up, Ruby Nadi will sign the money that we contributed to Ogenkere. Without the knowledge of the New Dimension mandate executives. That's what she does. Even in the new account, some of you are thinking, oh, they put Ruby Nadi and somebody else. The Prime Minister has already removed Ruby Nadi not to be in the finances of New Dimension mandate because she was fraudulently moving the money that Biafrans donated in New Dimension mandate, signing it to Ogenkere without the approval of New Dimension mandate. So those of you following the criminals, go and ask them, why was Ruby Nadi and the Ogenkere removed from the New Dimension mandate by the Biafra Prime Minister Simon Ekpa? Go and ask them and they will tell you the result. It's just for you, Biafrans, and the world to imagine what the Prime Minister is going through in the hand of these criminals. That's what I am saying. They stress him, they cajole him, they manipulate him. They come with all forms of distraction to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is fully aware of all this criminality. He was aware. But God has a way of doing things. God knows that the Prime Minister, these criminals, they've entangled him. So God let us, the USB cabinet members, do this final job to remove these criminals from Biafra. Because with them, Biafra will be a long haul. They are used by the Southeast and South governors, Tinubu and Christopher Musa, to destroy what we are doing. We can never move the pace we've moved in Biafra restoration. That is why they are out for good. When these criminals tells you that the Prime Minister tells them what they do, the Prime Minister that is being held by Finland, incarcerated by Finland, and somebody will come and tell you, oh, they get their authorization from the Prime Minister who is incarcerated. All of you tell me how who is incarcerated by the Nigerian state can be able to give the right judgment, because he is in the hand of the criminal state of Nigeria, just like our Prime Minister is in the hand of the criminal state of Finland. Any fool telling you, oh, they get their instruction from Prime Minister, why he is incarcerated, and you, a Biafran, believe that stupidity, that means you are not learning from history. Prime Minister does not tell them anything. These are criminals.
Exactly.
Using the condition of our Prime Minister to destroy
to scam.
what we are doing. But they failed. Prime Minister is not telling them anything. Their criminality paid by the Nigerian government is what they are unleashing on unsuspecting Biafra, not those who have been following Nnamdi Kanu and following the Prime Minister. As all of you are aware, our currency have been registered internationally. Our defense is very, very strong. We just need the funds. We need the funds to give them what they want. All of you that are talking with your state chairperson, your state governors, your state administrators, your state commanders, I strongly believe what all of you are hearing from them is we need the funds. We need the money for them to get the tools they need. They need the money to fight the reintegrated terrorists that are coming in. Biafrans, they recognize those people who are fighting for their freedom, who are trying to remove themselves from terrorists that call themselves leaders. We truly appreciate, we recognize, we honor the independence of the United States of America. One of the best countries in the world that promotes true democracy, freedom, as long as you do it the right way. We honor that freedom that makes them one of the greatest countries in the world. There are no two ways about that. Regardless of your opinion, regardless of your thinking, regardless of your belief, America remains one of the most democratic, one of the best, one of the most beautiful countries in the world for anyone to reside in. There are no two ways about that. This freedom that America had it didn't come easy. It came from years of people who were formerly in Europe to recognize the subjugation, the taxation, the illegality that was placed by Britain to individuals. And that was what made some people to decide, you know what, enough of this. We want to form our own country. We want to have our own freedom, where nobody is going to tax us just anyhow, where we have the freedom to be who we are, where we have the freedom to be the nation that we want to be. And they left, they moved to this nation called the United States of America. Even when they got everything, they still fought a brutal war between the North and South America. So when you hear the stories of how nations in the world develop and how Biafra is developing, you will relate yourself, you will relate the story and familiarize yourself with how countries, best countries in the world are formed. They are formed when the people in a particular nation felt that the way they are governed, the rules being imposed on them, does not promote humanity, does not promote freedom, they will decide to leave. That is why every 4th of July, we remember, we honor the independence of the United States of America, one of the greatest countries. Actually, the greatest country in the world. Because when you got America, you got the world. And that is why most of us, some of us that have been in the United States of America, we learn from the country. We learn so much from the system. We learn what freedom is about. We learn what human right means. We learn what respect to the freedom of association without being killed. When you converge with your community, somebody does not send armed terrorists to kill people, just like Soludo did last week. When he sent armed Fulanists, governor of the old Anambra state that was part of Nigeria, Soludo sent his criminal terrorists to go and murder 11 community meeting. And Soludo sent his armed terrorists supported Bonny citizens that were in a community meeting. Christopher Musa has not said one word about the murder of these innocent indigenous Biafrans where they were meeting. None of them have said anything. Biako, no, who came from that region, she has not said one word about the loss of 11 lives. Men in their prime. Many were sent to the hospital. None of them have said anything about the murder, the killing of these innocent people. The only people talking about that are the United States of Biafran people and the citizens. It is very, very sad. That is why the world is justifying the exit of Biafra from Nigeria. We cannot be a part of a country that gets orders from individuals whose their power is what we gave them. The gun they have is what we gave them. The ammunition the Anambra State people gave him. But instead of using that to fight for our land, taking over our land, burning our homes, killing our people, instead of Soludo to use those guns, I tell you, without the gun, I will bring you down. It is a promise. Without a gun, Dr. ORABUEZE, will bring you down. Because what you're doing is evil. What you're doing cannot be tolerated by any right-thinking leader in the world. They don't support you. That is why Nigeria is already a failed state. It's just going down by the seconds. And I want you Biafrans to be able to recognize the criminals planted by the Nigerian state. Whenever they rear their ugly head, put them where they belong. So I thank you, Biafrans, for coming today. Again, I have to start with this Ebonyi killings, killing of innocent indigents that just came together to have a meeting, a community meeting. Freedom of association is a basic human right that Nigeria signed for. To be a member of the United Nations, to be a member of the African Union, to be a member of the Commonwealth. Nigeria signed those charter, basic human rights, freedom of association. That was exactly what those individuals, they came together to meet as a community. And Tinubu and Christopher Musa and Soludo sent their armed terrorists to go and murder all of them, kill them. They were unarmed. They have no gun. But all of you saw on social media, we are almost 10 to 11 lives. We are lost. For nothing. And those of you supporting One Nigeria, you need to ask Christopher Musa and Tinubu, what was the crime of these innocent 10 or 11 indigenes of Biafra that was murdered? What did they do? Did the police arrest them? Did you take them to court? Did they go through the normal process of the law? Because Nigeria, you signed all this charter where somebody is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Did that charter you signed, did these 11 people that Tinubu murdered, did they go through that process? Saludo, this is opportunity. That is to tell the world what Tinubu and Christopher Musa and Bianco Ono is doing every day inside Nigeria. Killing unarmed, innocent people, flying all over the world to lie to world leaders. That is what they do. If you are a world leader and you have a... Again, we thank our leader Nnamdi Kanu. We know that recently, last week or this week, our leader, because Nigeria state has planned, went to Kenya, kidnapped our leader Nnamdi Kanu, bundled him to Nigeria, locked him up. Why? Because
ndị be anyị ngwadalụ nne nnukwu n'isi wee na-esonyere anyị n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa ka efi were ekwu gbasịta maka ebe ihe Biafran Chief of Staff kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ bụ Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Gịnị ka i were ekwu n'ụdị nke gị gbasịta maka ebe ife ndị a niile nọ okwu n'iru akwụkwọ? Drọpụọla ya alụ gị, drọpụọla ya ife iche n'ụdị nke gị ka a mara ife iche, your own reaction gbasịta maka ebe ife na Eastern News 24 ebe anyị si wetara onye bụ ozi ọzọ dị ka ịbịa bụ tụsakwa ya bụ ozi ka ụmụnne anyị dozi n'ebe dị iche iche wee marakwa ife na-emenụ and wee mara the update on the latest development on Biafra Republic government in exile. Daalụ rinne na ụmụnne m ka emesịa.